fearless.
Yeah, and you're only one game away from elimination, so I don't know how long the series will go.
Maybe if you won the first game, you're willing to do that, but his still is pretty good.
Fair enough, but this is correct. You know, these are his 2 best champions, so get these out of the way. But then he still plays all this other supportive stuff. You can still go like Galio and then have Blaber play a carry jungle champion this time around, or something like that. But Aurora in the hands of Thanatos has been extremely scary, and Thanatos was player of the game. We've been tracking all tournament long. He has wanted to get player of the game. I just want to once again congratulate him because he finally got one on his huge Ambessa game.
So I feel like with Lion going first pick and banning Aurora, they're showcasing that they want to play Rumble here, right? So C9 I think was deciding, do they actually want to play Rumble or do they want to ban something else? So since Rumble is up, I'm expecting that will be first picked. And then they decided to ban Trundle because you let the Rumble through and then you can answer it with a Galio or an Ornn. Those are 2 good matchups. So I think that is the thought process that I'm seeing from the 2 sides as far as the pick and ban is going.
Yeah, 100%, and it's exactly what we were talking about, but then you get Blaber on a carry jungler here instead of Malphite, and that has been bread and butter for Cloud9. They have made really, really good inroads there with the synergy building up and allowing Blaber to have some carry champs from jungle too.
Yeah, I was talking to Blaber before the series started, and he was saying how he was really sad that he wasn't getting to play Kiana and these types of champs. And he's just like, bot lane is just too OP, man. You just have to play for bot. You know, you can't play a carry, you can't play for yourself because you got to be helping bot lane the whole time.
Yeah, and you got to build Zeke's Convergence and Protoplasm Harness and see about the extra tanks. But if you get a tank in the top lane with a Ksante, that bodes well for his carry efforts. The Ksante, of course, while it's not like, oh, the, you know, Galio or anything, you just build a Volcanic Rooker anyway, and there's your giant magic damage shield anyway. And most people run double APs with mid lane being AP as well, so you can have a very effective matchup in either side lane. We'll see if Lion throws some wrinkles in it though, because if you have Rumble start, you can always pivot and build a Yone comp. Yone and Rumble comps are very, very common. We'll see which direction Lion actually want to go for it because nothing has been revealed for mid lane, so you don't want to do it early.
Yeah, we've got the Ksante into the Rumble, not super surprising there, and as C9 lock Yunara as their second pick, I do want to remind everyone, or maybe educate you for the first time if you missed the series last time, that 8,000 gold lead that you talked about, Azael, that was Zven's individual gold advantage at the end of their series against Sentinels, that was on Yunara. That is the champ that he performed at that level with.
I wonder if they try to steal the Lulu, because when you go Aphelios here, you can steal the Lulu pairing from the Yunara, which I actually would really, really like. And that would maybe knock down the support pairing tier. Because yes, you can go other enchanters alongside the Yunara, but Yunara Lulu to me is the prime pairing. So I actually think this is really smart drafting from Lion. I really like this.
Yeah, and Aphelios is the super, super common answer into the Yunara too. And Berserker's Aphelios is very famous, so it's a very good combination on their side. I love the Yuumi hovers because that has been another of the enchanters that has been used elsewhere and not a lot of success. So very much doubt that that would actually come through. Meanwhile, into the Lulu lane. All right, fine. You steal it, we engage. We look for kills. And I'm expecting Blaber on a jungler that can also go to that bottom lane. You've got Yunara Nautilus. You are looking to pressure.
And remember that Nautilus was the engaged support that Lion banned out in the second half of the draft in game number 1 that they did not want C9 selecting. So now that it's in Vulcan's hands, we'll see how many plays the C9 bot lane can make with this. Remember that with the Ezreal Karma dominant duo draft in game number 1, it was Berserker and Isles that controlled the bottom lane pretty much the entire time. Jungler activity was mostly focused towards solo lanes. I'm curious if that'll change much here now that Nautilus is down there in the bot lane prowling around with the dredge line.
And I like that Cloud9 are respecting the Yone comp I was talking about, because if you've got support on a Lulu, you need more CC and more engage from other areas. And so you would want some CC out of Inspired and possibly Saint for the rest of this Lion comp, because if you got a Rumble Ultimate and you just have an Enchanter support, like, you need to keep people on the Rumble Ultimate to find success. So good respect here from Cloud9 trying to take away some of the further options that you would want to pair.
Yeah, I feel like it's Wukong or Jarvan probably is the next ban to me. You know, it is some of those jungles that you're talking about that can actually set up for the Rumble. They need to have some sort of setup, and it is going to be Choungle, that's a Zahungle liker right there, you know?
This guy has been
just
watching
jungle?
too many Azael casts, man.
There's no such thing.
That's fair. You are a literal world champ.
There you go.
Just not at the spelling bee. Like, that's not in that competition. The Wukong. The Wukong. Okay, if you're secretly hiding that, I give up. If you have a spelling bee trophy somewhere.
I won a spelling bee. I did.
Okay.
I did.
God bless America, dude. Okay.
And we can't really call him on it because you're like, well, I did some research on Canadian spelling bees.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you guys spell color with a U.
Yeah,
that doesn't
we do.
count because that's wrong. That's not the right way to spell a word.
Not the American spelling.
Hell yeah, brother.
God
All
bless.
right. So we got our Wukong band away, like you were talking about. Great pairing there with the Rumble for the AoE engage. Keep them on the red carpet. Lion's also going to ban out that Jarvan. So excuse me. 2 more of these prominent AD junglers taken off the table with, remember, Xin Zhao also removed thanks to Fearless. And we're going to get Nocturne locked in for Blaber.
Gotta see, I'm seeing a lot of pressure put towards diving this Aphelios. You know, Nocturne, Nautilus point and click, Ksante getting in here. If they actually locked a Mundo, it would be scaling, but it wouldn't be hard CC for keeping people on your Rumble ultimate. So, I don't know. You'd have to worry about the early game a little bit if you did that. That's much better as far as getting some engage, getting some CC.
But you can't blind any, I feel like. If you blind any mid,
short.
the range is too short. You just play against Victor or champions like this, and you get poked out. You can't really even interact. So I think he is maybe showing we know you want to pick Annie. I think that's maybe what it was, because remember in game 1, Lion banned the Annie. So clearly they think that C9 is willing to play it, and APA does have last pick. So he may be saying, hey, I know what you want to do, bro. But it is going to be Aatrox as the jungler here. So another AD jungler. But Lion so far, no lockdown whatsoever. And I do feel like just historically, this team to me has struggled a lot more when they don't have hard engage.
Yeah, you're looking at the engage tools on Lion being Aatrox, sweet spots.
I mean, both teams know it.
and Aphelios Gravitum gun. Like, there's not a lot here.
I will say, Saint had a really hard carry Ahri game, exceptional performance from him, and he likes the Ahri into Annie matchup, so we'll see. I
don't think you should like that matchup.
I would favor the Cloud9 side.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this is a really bad matchup for Ahri because, like, anytime you're going forward, it's about mobility, right? And you just have point and click CC, and the Tibbers can also block the charms. It can absorb W damage and R damage.
He's taunting it beforehand, hovering it and going right into it. They know.
I agree, he knows, but I think it is a really tough matchup, and I like Cloud9's draft way more. Like, way more. I feel like you can engage on anyone on the other side and one-shot them. There is no one who can absorb engages. You have Annie, you have Nautilus, you have Nocturne. You fly in and just literally throw your CC and your spells at whoever is there in the front line, and I feel like they should die. And so I am really concerned for Lion, who has a comp that A, has no lockdown, B, no setup for the charm or for the equalizer, and C, has no options on how to start fights.
I think we are aligned.
Yep, it's a little scary for Lion. They're going to have to get off to an early lead when you don't have lockdown, when you don't have a true front line. You look at the front line of what Lion has drafted. You've got Rumble, who will have some health. You've got whoever Lulu presses R on, and then Aatrox can drain tank, but if he's just locked up and bursted down before he can effectively do that, he's not going to last much longer either. So Lion has got to be clean in the early game. They've got to build these early leads. They've got to give themselves something to play around, because C9's comp seems like it's got plenty of tools for solving problems.
And both mid lane and bot lane need that jungle attention. I think these are both good targets to put early jungle ganks in. You can heavily sway this matchup with just a little bit of jungle pressure, getting the HP advantage, getting the summer spell advantage, and obviously the bottom side here with the Nautilus are going to be looking for the engage opportunities onto the Enchanter lane. Otherwise, you just take a lot of damage and poke.
And of course, the math on everything changes completely, based on the early game, so we'll have to see how they do. And we have Kanga standing by with Blaber's mom.
Thank you very much. I have Blaber's mom, Lily. Thank you for joining us here for a little interview. You just flew in from Maryland, correct?
Yes.
How's the trip been?
Nice.
It's awesome to have you here supporting Blaber. And we were talking a little bit before we went live, and you mentioned a story about Blaber's name and how he got his name. Can you tell everybody at home how Blaber got his name?
Oh, yeah. The first name is Blaberfish 2. Actually, that's his big brother's name. His big brother played first, then transferred the name. He took the account,
So he stole it from his brother. Is his brother here today?
Yes, yes. Billy is here. Yeah.
Does his brother still play League of Legends? Is he upset that Blaber stole his name?
No. He played at the college start. So he only played like 1 year. Then Blaber start to play. He kind of help him, but he just become a fan.
Now he's a fan. First the teacher, now the fan.
He said it's hard to play this game.
All right, well, thank you so much, Lily, for coming and chatting with us. It looks like there's action in the game, so we're going to throw it back to the casters.
I like how she's kind of like a little bit of subtle shade to Blaber. He tried to teach him, but, you know, it's a hard game.
It is a hard game, man.
It is a hard game, yes.
A lot happens in League of Legends, but it does make the two make a lot more sense now. He truly is the second of the Blabberfish. As APA, you saw during the interview, nearly found himself a solo kill on Ksante, got him down below 100 HP, and yeah, chat appreciating the interview here too.
We interviewed 2 Cloud9 moms.
How many Lion moms we got here?
Yeah.
It could be a mom gap. We're going to have to search the crowd, find if there's any Lion moms.
We will scan for that throughout this game and see if we can succeed and get some more of those interviews throughout the day. That's another reason to hope that we get a full best-of-5 series. We'll get more interviews with more player families as Saint now back into the mid lane here. Ooh. Nice hit on the charm with the Electrocute proc 2. APA's bone plating not going to give him a whole lot, and Saint with the flash to reposition the return of the Spirit Orb takes APA out solo style.
He says, I know you're going to pick anybody. It's important that he actually flashes and gets the kill, though, because he had just used teleport on his reset, so he kind of had to leverage his buy, and APA there had no recall, he had no buy, and he wanted to get that wave in, but the little dodge back there, Saint expects it, and even though he gets the stun out, Q, and here's the pullback.
I mean, that was beautiful from Saint. Really greedy from APA, though.
Nice Saint.
Oh, wow. GG. That's a GG, yeah.
I mean, you can see the look on APA's face. He was dominating the 1v1, right? He was already up 10 CS. He pushed Saint back early. And if you don't kill him there and you've committed your TP and you're low on health, APA is in a monstrous spot. He's going to crush that matchup. So big mistake from APA.
Yeah, but now it's C9 doing a 2-man invade, going after Inspired, but Saint is ready to respond. Blaber does get pulled back. Sweet spot. Q3 Inspired is about to pick up another one. And C9 are blundering the early game with LYON happy to punish.
Mid-jungle diff here in game number 2. This is a huge start for LYON. Inspired can now cross and steal your camps as well. The flash from Inspired to hit the Q afterwards, and he had just disengaged. They had them in a little bit of a pincer there. Another good collapse, all off this mid-jungle, and now look at the bottom lane being pushed in. Inspired can steal another camp as well. Oh wait, see if he actually finishes, because he doesn't know that the Nocturne reset to that top side of the map, but because he's got his bot lane pushing also, he's like, it's fine. Even if you tried to come, I would have the extra pressure here. So he gets both of these camps, steals them away. That is truly going to be a significant cost specifically for Blaber.
And this is an enormous gap now in the gold already. It's 5 minutes in. It's a 1.5k gold lead here for LYON. Big mistake from APA. Then they get outplayed in the 2v2. And that knock-on of losing your whole bot side after that is brutal. So C9 now are going to be in a lot of trouble. Blaber is homeless right now. He's got nothing to do. You have no camps to farm. There's no scuttle up. There's nowhere for him to go.
Kill wards.
Yeah,
found one.
Those give you some money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Found it.
A little bit of extra ward allowance. Okay.
Look at that vision score, too, going up.
Okay.
Straight to the moon.
See, there's some positive.
Glass half full.
Exactly.
I like where your head's
Look
at.
on the bright side.
He just only caught Inspired's vision score.
Yeah, Inspired might be getting to level 6 as well and get the bot crab that Blaber has built his whole personality around, but
he got the ward.
Better, vision score, that's good.
Yeah. Man, you gotta at least sell it a little better than that.
All good. The other thing here for LYON is that they have been able to get a lot of push elsewhere on the map, so it allows some freedom here. The early game going quite well for LYON.
They're looking for a potential invade here, maybe. Blaber still only level 5 on the Nocturne. Spell Shield's the first Electro Harpoon and does manage to walk away from Dhokla.
He can't even get his blue. They're going to steal that side, too, on the respawn. That's why they all invaded there. They knew he would be going top to bot, so they stole away the bot camps. Then Dhokla is just proxying, so he walks in, he spots him. He's still level 5. Inspired steals this away as well. Blaber is still quite far from level 6. Inspired is taking everything off of that 2v2 that they won.
And when we were talking in draft, I said Lions got to make sure they get these early leads to make up for the lack of lockdown in frontline. I feel like this is exactly the type of early lead that they want to see. 1,500 gold, nearly 2K, just 7 minutes into the game as Blaber still struggles to reach his level 6 and unlock Paranoia.
And a large amount of gold will definitely change how this team plays, because if LYON have so much extra gold here, then Berserker is going to be able to play very, very aggressively. You know, Lulu assumed Lulu is going to get like a Mikhail's as well, so you can peel for this Aphelios, and when they're trying to dive in, you have so many other threats that are going to be rich. Inspired assumed he's going to be rich. Saint is going to be a monster once again. We already saw him make huge pick plays on the Ahri when he got early leads previously. And so LYON are going to have a lot of threats here.
They are, and Saint has been so good in playoffs. He was the target of a lot of criticism during the Swiss stage. He had been throwing games, he'd been making massive blunders in the late stages, and now he's been really stepping up. And even with this counter pick, he gets the early solo, LYON invading again. Blaber can't play the game.
Yeah, I mean, they just have complete jungle mid dominance. Saint here playing with Inspired. It's really nice to see, because another big question with this LYON roster when they formed, and they were undoubtedly signing huge names with getting the former MVP Inspired on the squad. But we were wondering, you know, how are they going to work together? Is the communication, is the synergy really going to be there? And it certainly has been for these two in the you know, exceptional lower bracket run for playoffs for Saint and Inspired.
Well, if it didn't already seem good enough that LYON got the solo kill and then got the 2v2 outplay and then got the enemy blue buff, and now they're getting the enemy red buff, they're also now getting an early Ocean Drake too. This is just total early game dominance from LYON. Saint going in looking for another solo kill as APA missed the stun. Saint thought maybe he had the chance to finish him off, but still 100 HP left on the Annie. But it's still so much pressure, it's so much control for Saint and for LYON.
And it's all these charms. I mean, Saint nailing a lot of these charms on APA as he's pushing the wave and then kills these last minions, and then you're tanking a little bit of extra minion damage in addition to the Ahri damage. Regardless, Blaber is going to go over and grab those Void Grubs. You know, first dragon to line is quite nice too. An Ocean Dragon early is always nice for the laners, but Thanatos goes for all out.
Yeah, Thanatos looking to try to get something back for C9 here in this doomed early game. But no, it's going to be Dhokla ready to turn it around. Dhokla gets the outplay. He'll secure the kill. And Blaber has to use his first Nocturne ulti just to prevent this from also being a disaster.
Big Dokes with the outplay in the 1v2 there. Seemed like maybe there was a bit of miscommunication. Blaber wanted to finish the grubs. Thanatos wanted to go for the play. Blaber tried to finish the grubs first, then even had to pull off them, so he couldn't even get that final grub. It reset, and he uses the ult, gets the kill, but it's too late. So, you know, look at this. It's all about this right here. Blaber is saying, okay, I'm going to finish grubs, then we'll go for the play. But Thanatos is already going. Look at Blaber desperately trying to finish this off, realizing it's too late. I got to go now. So has to leave the grub. But at that point, Thanatos was so low, he just takes the kill.
We were just highlighting the mid and jungle synergy and the timings for Saint and Inspired, and get a little desync there on the opposite side of the map for Blaber and Thanatos. So does kind of hurt to leave behind that other grub, you know, only getting two, not getting to the nice bonus. It hurts more to actually have a counter kill for Dhokla going over.
I think the thing that hurts most, and what I'm really scratching my head about, is the C9 comms just seem completely scrambled this game. The 2v2 invade early on for the chicken camp that went awry. This play that just seemed completely desynced. C9 is, I would say they're not on the same page. I don't even think they're on the same chapter in game number 2. They have got to recalibrate this.
Yep, it's been tough, and I just love how LYON are pushing this forward, because this is the kind of play you need to go for. When you don't have hard engage, when you don't have the traditional kind of comps, ways to start fights, you have to get in your opponent's face, make them walk into you. APA is looking topside, though. They want to try to go for a dive here. Equalizer almost up, but there is no flash.
All right, APA does have Tibbers ready to summon. C9 just about have the wave ready to crash into the turret. Meanwhile, Inspired going for the play in the bottom lane here at the same time. C9 going to start their dive up there with the top side with Tibbers summoned up, and the burst goes down. Thanatos gets the kill as Vulcan drops here in the bottom lane right after. Inspired taking the kill as Zven's in a 1v3. He wants to try to get something back, but the Aatrox has the wild growth, a world ender, and another kill. It's LYON 5v2 in the game. They come out on top in the play. Saints back in mid to answer the wave push at the same time, and the gold lead is nearly 2,500. 2,000.
Yeah, so first you saw the original play with Saint and Inspired hovering, waiting to try and trap someone if they came to Raptors, but nobody went there because APA is going top, and Inspired says, fine, if no one's going to come into your jungle, then I'll just dive bottom lane. That is still more worth for the Lion side. Dhokla now getting in the chat as well, typing some of them. I believe that was probably for the gank, where he got the counter kill. But again, this one too, you know, when your bottom lane gets 2 kills, diving the bottom lane, and getting more money into AD carry, into Aphelios, into Berserker, that is very significant. But first tower bonus is a nice little bonus as well. So Cloud9, they do rush to that, and you get extra gold there.
Yeah, and I think it was smart to just commit to that once the play has already gone so bad, right? And quite frankly, it could have been a lot worse because Dhokla died as the equalizer came up. If that play was a second or two slower, then he would have just ulted the wave and nothing would have happened on top side. He would have lost everything on bot side and gotten nothing on top side. Berserker, again, out to a nice advantage over Zven. Kind of expected in this sort of a 2v2 when you are playing against these enchanters, and then obviously the dive slammed that advantage home.
And we've been talking about the jungle gap so far this game. Inspired off to this 2-0-1 start on the Aatrox, has his Sundered Sky completed. This is the item that always causes question marks to be typed in Twitch chat when he's in World Ender, has Deathbringer stance and Sundered Sky proc all at the same time, and regenerates 2/3 of his health with 1 stab. So the drain tanking power of this champion is truly online as LYON are invading the C9 jungle yet again.
Let's see if the recall goes off before the play. Okay, Blaber cancels the recall, so he's still hovering down here.
Did you see that Q activation there from Berserker with the red gun? Gave him just enough speed to get out of range of that hook there. So didn't have to use Ghost, didn't have to use Flash, just uses the Q activation, gets back out of range of the hook, and it means Blaber loses his buff again and can't really do much of anything.
Blaber hanging around the mid lane now, does have Paranoia ready to cast. He has the experimental Hex Plate too, but he is not level 11, and he's not even close. Barely level 10 here on the Nocturne, so still going to be a while before he can get the ultimate upgrade, as C9 look like they want to start the Drake.
And the biggest problem is they've known exactly where Blaber is the whole time. They're always walking in your jungle, so you know if Nocturne's not top side, he's bot side. If Nocturne's not bot side, he's top side.
Okay, Inspired's on the approach, walks into the banana brush. APA dropping the Tibbers, ready to try to defend himself here. Paranoia used defensively. C9 do not want to go after LYON with this. They just want to get out.
And they expend 2 ultimates to do that and grab that dragon play. So they're stealing away one of these dragons so LYON can't keep stacking them. But now they're kind of combat weak for the next minute and a half or so with no Nocturne or Annie ultimate. So you would kind of expect LYON to have an Inspired and Saint look for a play at the moment. Let's get a little replay of the top side.
What are we watching here? Oh, teleport. Oh, that was an accident.
Oh,
There's no way that was not an accident. You're not TPing in the face of Ksante that you're just trading with, so that has to be a misclick there from Dhokla, because the Pathmaker interrupts it, the Q3 interrupts it, the All-Out interrupts it. There's just no world in which you press that intentionally.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a whoopsie there from Big Dokes. His Rumble now the one part of the LYON squad that is not ahead of his counterpart. So Thanatos trying to do some heavy lifting, keep Cloud9 in this game. Gold lead still at about the 2,000 that it was earlier. And remember, this gold lead has been around this neighborhood since about minute 5 into the game. So if you're C9, you're happy that it hasn't gotten worse. But if you're LYON, you're happy that you still have control over the game like you do. The Rift Herald is down to 1,400. It will be secured by Blaber and C9 as Inspired wanted to move up and try to steal it away. Equalizer dropped down. Blaber trying to escape. Saint on the hunt looking for APA. Berserker's got the Calibrum. Keep your eyes on the range. No, he misses the Moonlight Vigil. So C9 gets themselves an objective, and again, they escape.
Honestly, that was a heist for Cloud9. Really good timing window, because we were just talking about, oh yeah, they don't quite have Nocturne ultimate and Annie ult. Well, they got the objective, and just now Nocturne ult comes back up, Annie ult is back up, so even during that window, they still got the objective, still get the Rift Herald, and now they've got their ults ready to roll.
And LYON showing up there, I think Cloud9 getting away is great evidence of what we were talking about with the draft weakness of not having the lockdown, not being able to secure kills, that in a lot of drafts, a lot of compositions, you're going to get at least something back there. But since they don't have it, C9 can get themselves out. But now LYON's on the attack again. They want to try to at least get some turret plates, find something, continue their pressure on C9.
And those turret plates are fun to... Wait.
There's a Paranoia over in the mid lane. Berserker protected by the Lulu. Flashes away even after receiving the wild growth. Thanatos Pathmaker is going to get him away from the Infernal Chains, and nothing more happens from the play.
Quite an effective engage there from Cloud9, though. They got Flash, Ghost, and ult off Lulu, plus the heal off Lulu. So a lot of tools there used, but Berserker survives. They knock down the tower. They keep that gold lead right around that 2.2k mark.
And critically, this money is into Aphelios' Infinity Edge Fund.
That's an important investment.
Yeah, they set up a hedge fund for Berserker, and when that thing pays off and you get 2-item Aphelios, then that is where the big damage will actually come from. Again, especially if you group up for this champion, he can just murder people. And with the reintroduction of the Storm Razor, it gives so much extra move speed to Aphelios. It allows you a lot easier navigation of some of these team fights. Obviously, a Lulu on top helps, and having summoner spells will help on top of that. But big item power spike in the future.
Yeah, and Zven as well just finished 1500 bolts, so that is a big spike as well. Works so well on Yunara. You pop the R, you can dash forward, you get these big autos to start off the fight.
Yeah, as soon as the team fight begins, you fan the hammer, instantly just get those crits, and it makes him so scary. Like I say, one more reminder, this is the champ that he had the 8,000 gold lead on against Sentinels. This is the one that C9 really wants to play around him on when he's piloting it.
Yeah, it really is just so perfect for Yunara because ultimate ability haste is doubly good on her, because then you get to use your ultimate enhanced abilities.
Transcend oneself.
Too, and jumping around, firing off the Kamehameha big blast waves. We'll see.
That one does look way cooler than throwing that little bead thing. Like you get a little bead thing, or you get a laser.
Yeah, it's a pretty good upgrade. We'll see though. Mid lane, AD carry ego battle with the Lulu on one side.
Okay, all right.
Eating burgers. Honestly, that's pretty good for Zven's side. You know, able to push him off afterwards. Nobody overcommitting though, and we're just gonna have side lane pressure. Inspired here. They know he's there. Just took the Hex Gate and cleared out the ward.
And while the gold lead is good for LYON, it was 1.5k, 1.6k at 5 minutes into the game. Yep. Right? And that means so much more than it does now. And the problem is for LYON, even though they did an excellent job of pushing that lead forward, constantly invading on Blaber, now the game is stabilized. And if Cloud9 just continue farming from here, they still have some of those compositional advantages where they get to be the ones to choose when and where you fight. They took away an early dragon, so there's not a big worry about a soul stack, so they are going to choose when to fight.
Look at this overcommitment here. You know, Cloud9 are sending everywhere. That's 5 people. They're leaving the top side turret, and they're saying, hey, we're going to either force Saint's teleport or just give up turret plate money. Saint, right now, thank you for the picture-in-picture. Turret plate earned at the moment during this setup. And LYON, again, it's worth reiterating, they are very okay with giving up early dragons for gold if it is a compromising position. You don't want to walk into this Cloud9 team. You probably just cannot walk into a Cloud9 team like this with an Annie, with a Nautilus, with so many tools to punish you. And so they say, fine, fine, fine. You're going to throw down the 5 people towards this dragon. You get it. We're going to take the tower instead.
Yep, and they are going to be able to get that tower. Just now, APA's TP came back up. Had that been up a little bit earlier, maybe Thanatos TP's in, then you can get the dragon, then TP up to defend, but they did not have that. So it is the single TP advantage now for LYON, as they have it available on both Dhokla and Saint.
They know there's a ward there. He's just looking at each other, giving each other some emotes.
Yeah, just a couple thumbs up, little burger here and there. Inspired does have his Sterix gauge fully completed. Again, this is another massive item for this Aatrox, who kind of stands alone on the front line for LYON. It gives you way better chances of being able to drain tank through some of the burst and the lockdown. As there's your equalizers. Zven already down to half HP. C9 trying to get away. World Ender coming out from Inspired. First Q hits the sweet spot, and C9 are all trying to flash out. Thanatos defensive Pathmaker wants to try to go all out, but instead he's buried in his own jungle. LYON see their moment, and they pounce.
Zven, pretty big mistake, honestly. He ate 2 of the knockups in a row from Inspired as he was trying to get an auto down on the mid lane turret. That chunked him low, and that prompted the engage, because now he's he's losing 40% of his health. Equalizer gets dropped on his head. Even through the locket, you're too low to fight. Then as Inspire comes to the wall, he hits him with another knockup. So Zven did not participate in that fight whatsoever. He takes that damage. Thanatos pays the price for Zven's sins.
I have to say, this is looking like a good jungle Aatrox. You know, there have been a lot of top lane champions that have got jungle adjustments to be able to be flexed into jungle. Aatrox originally had a mega power clear. It's still really good on the champion, but that doesn't necessarily mean your jungler is going to be able to hit sweet spot Qs and perform well in team fights and be able to navigate like a normal Aatrox player would. But Inspired, he plays all other lanes. He practices a lot of other champions and has been quite good navigating this Aatrox. And now it's a 2-item Aatrox. You're talking about the Sundered Sky durability that adds with Asterix on top. He's a true juggernaut.
All right, APA. Can you get away from this one because Saint is ready? All he's got to do is land the charm. The Annie ultimate doesn't do the job. Saint continues his dive forward, and Big Dokes has enough damage to finish it off. The summon Tibbers didn't hit Saint. It didn't get the stun, and LYON solo laners find their target.
Yeah, APA shortchanged that. I don't know if he was expecting that he would try to like flash over it or if it was an anticipation thing or what was going on there, but it looked like he just whiffed, and he did not go with the Incinerate, with that Q to guarantee the point-and-click stun. He went with the Tibbers right off the rip and just kind of dropped it early, maybe tried to use it as a bodyguard for charm or something like that. I'm not really sure, but either way, he does get taken out.
And we were talking earlier about how LYON wasn't building the gold lead any further from their early one. Now they're up 4,000. Now LYON's looking strong.
Yeah, my initial guess was he's trying to block charm possibilities, but they just go right past it. You know, he throws the Q through, and you can see him zigzagging the Tibbers back and forth here. But because Rumble has such a long range with ultimate, you can add that extra damage. Dhokla throws down that on top of him. And APA, this is like the third time he's jumped out of his seat, basically. After every time he gets killed here, you can tell the pressure is on.
I mean, I understand the thought process of using that to block it, but if you're going to flash anyway, you can just wait until he comes in range, Q stun him, guaranteed, then drop the Tibbers, and then if he goes for a charm flash, you still have your flash, right? So definitely misplayed there, definitely misplayed in the solo kill in level 1, and C9 set up this draft for the Annie. LYON knew it, as you talked about a bunch, Kobe, that kept flashing the Annie, clearly expecting the pick, as it wasn't banned in Game 2, and they're just dealing with it.
This is a lesson. You know, it's all fun and games when you're chatting in game, but you talked about APA was doing IRL trash talk to Saint before this game. It's coming back to bite him. Saint's revenge here. Ticks over to level 15 on the Ahri. It's almost a full level lead, and they've got the vision advantage again.
And you see the damage on Zven's health bar. It was about twice that from one pass-through of the Infernum hitting a minion from Berserker's Aphelios. You guys were talking about that Infinity Edge, that fund earlier, Kobe. Well, guess what? The dividends have come home to the wallet. That wallet has exchanged it for a sword, and now he's got the Last Whisper in the inventory right next to it. This Aphelios is an absolute cannon for the next fight.
And he's already on to, you know, the... Wait a second, teleport up to the top side. Are they going to get chased down on Dhokla?
They're definitely looking for it. You got Blaber up here as well. Equalizer already dropped. APA backing away. Dhokla just trying to buy as much time as he can. C9 does not want to overcommit resources here.
Ooh,
so you can see they don't spend the all-out or the Tibbers, and they get their kill.
Now, APA is recalling. He does have teleport, so they can try and force on this timer. There's no rumble. This is a big 4-on-5 power play from Cloud9.
And Saint has no teleport. Saint has to still walk all the way up here as LYON try to contest. The Tibbers still waiting over the wall from APA, using that for a little bit of scouting. Saint still making his way up. He's just about arrived to the fight. Watch Inspired, goes into World Ender, trying to make the approach here. He's caught with a wild growth as the dredge line finds its way to the back line, but Berserker's already got the kill into Vulcan. C9 push forward, shut down on Berserker. The Aphelios is into the picture, but so is APA. Saint is on the hunt. The Ahri is powerful, but Inspired is died. C9's looking for another one. Blaber might just fall. It's a double kill for Saint's Ahri. This man does not want to lose, and LYON, although it cost them casualties, will stop the Baron and hold the line against C9.
Saint is just vicious on this Ahri, man. Another big game from him, and LYON defend the Baron power play. That Cloud9 start with a very good pick for themselves.
Yeah, I really like this. They get that pick, and then they're utilizing the Tibbers to make sure that they have vision in that side brush. Inspire goes forward, and they just full send on him. They put all the damage down onto him. He has to flash back. Saint is getting a ton of damage out, though. Nails a charm. They get that first kill, and then it is Thanatos and Blaber flying into the back line to kill off the Aphelios. Saint gets a reset. Here, watch Blaber, the sidestep on the charm, I thought might have allowed him to win out on that duel, but the flashback to the second part of the Orb Deception hits him, and the red buff burn takes him down. Saint is just playing these fights out beautifully.
That is twice now in this second game that Saint has repositioned his orb with a flash to guarantee that he gets an outplay.
And I want to point out, his autos are important too, and that last auto, just enough damage too to make sure that he's low enough. Like, he's not missing any of these opportunities to weave in damage. Berserker though, he was the focus. You know, Cloud9 deleted him in that fight. He knows they're coming for his head. They know they have to deal with that Aphelios. They're gonna split Dragon for another Baron attempt here. They're gonna put pressure and force LYON to come answer.
I mean, I just think it's really smart. C9 has such a good turn. They're pulling him into these fights.
Vulcan waiting in the banana brush, seeing if there's an opportunity to land a hook and start a fight. Saint flying through the Hex Gate. APA is separated from the rest of the team. He's coming around for the Timbers. They find a lot of burst on the Berserker, but he isn't dead here just yet. Now he is. APA with a kill. Zven is also dropped to the backside of the fight, though. LYON's still ready to turn it. Dhokla's low, but he is not dead. Vulcan falls next, and Blaber dies too. A double kill of a Saint. Thanatos stands alone, but he will not stand long. 5-for-1 ace for LYON.
Cloud9 might have taken out Berserker, but at what cost? Look at the replay. They go for him again. The former Cloud9 AD carry is getting the C9 special treatment in these team fights. Annihilated, but then look at the work the rest of the team can do while all the focus is on him. They've got multiple threats. Inspired here, doing so much damage while everybody else is focused elsewhere. And Saint, again, on this Ahri. Reset after reset after reset.
And critically in that fight, Zven had no sum, so they full send it. The coordination was really good. You turn off the lights, so Berserker never sees any coming, right? You know, you get in there with the stun, but Isles was so quick. Mikhail's the stun, Wild Growth, Shield, everything in on him, and Zven on the other side is just dying to the Aatrox. So once Zven falls, even though you kill Berserker, the LYON comp has way more sustained damage, and he's all upfront burst.
Do we got Saint in our league or Knight here? We got to upgrade Medjai's Soul Stealer for this guy. Respect Saint's Ahri, man. This is crazy. He's got the Zonias on top of it for the extra safety, so this is a very good Medjai's angle. 605, they're going for some extra damage here onto Thanatos.
Yep, they'll lock him down on top of the equalizer there with the Gravitum. Overheated Flame Spitter is more than enough DPS. Thanatos falls. That is by far the most durable member of the C9 squad. LYON with their Baron for the next 2 minutes, with Thanatos dead for the next 45 seconds. They have every opportunity they want on Summoner's Rift to do whatever they want. They're going to push bottom with the large group. Saint split pushing over in the mid lane. Vulcan dredge lines a minion and needs to immediately hoof it right back to the safety of the base. LYON's pressure continues.
Well, they want to even up the series, Flowers. That's what they want. And the siege here, as you say, with these baroned up cannon minions, look at them destroying the tower. Saint in mid lane, whacking this one down. Bot side has a little bit of a window here where you get rotation over from Zven and Vulcan, but that's just going to delay it. The buffed up cannons here will finish the job. One more shot. Mid lane is wide open.
Man, oh man, this game from the very beginning has been about two things: Cloud9 miscommunication and Saint. Those are the two biggest factors so far in this one, it has to feel like. And the mid laner for LYON is up to a nearly 4,000 gold lead over his individual counterpart. This is just an Ahri masterclass from him.
Yeah, I mean, this whole game has been about Saint. He starts out with the solo kill onto APA, diving under his tower, and then because of his solo kill, the follow-up play on jungle meant that was their whole early game from LYON, was built off of Saint winning mid lane and then playing with Inspired.
It's going to be really tough now. Cloud9, only chance is trying to get just an instant deletion on one of these carries and hope that you can protect Zven and win the fight after that. Berserker has no flash for a little bit, but it's going to be back soon, and that's kind of the opportunity that they would have to try to capitalize on, but all of LYON is around him. Saint is the only one splitting, and Saint has so much mobility. The Verdant Barrier, the Zonias, the Flash. there's just no way you're going to be able to one-shot Saint.
Yeah, he's going in after APA, looking for the solo kill here, but now has to flash back as Blaber reinforces with the paranoia. But that's one of C9's most powerful tools, most powerful ultimates, used just to save APA from Saint, who still has 2/3 of his health bar, who's still applying pressure in the mid lane, while the rest of LYON pushes up top.
Okay, luckily for Cloud9, no more Baron buff though, so C9 keeping up the defenses, and they're actually not going to lose anything else in the base.
Yeah, APA even committed the teleport there just to try to come from a little bit of an unpredictable angle. It was spotted though, and Saint just backed off. He TP'd kind of to the side of his base, but that ward in the brush right there, that one actually spotted him. So wasn't actually able to get anything from that teleport.
All right, Cloud9 have been able to keep their base alive, but it's a 10,000 gold lead. So objective bounties are on for C9. If they can get a miracle pick, if they can assassinate someone very quickly, then maybe they can get a lot of comeback gold. But LYON in this commanding position, all you have to do is move in safely from 2 lanes, get your ward set up, and there won't be an angle for Cloud9 to surprise you. They're doing just that now, warding up this jungle that is going to lead to the Dragon in a minute and a half.
Man, I got some bad news for you if you want C9 to get a quick, clean burst onto somebody on LYON. Both solo laners have a stasis. Inspired now has Spirit Visage to amplify the healing of his Aatrox. Berserker just purchased Guardian Angel. And by the way, Lulu's on the team with the Mikhails. Bursting somebody down on this squad right now is next to impossible. C9 not only needs to execute perfectly, but LYON's got to make mistakes.
Now, if I'm on C9, this is where I hit my team with the cope. Saint's full build, he can't get stronger. He's already level 18, there's no more room for items.
Into the cope already, huh?
Oh yeah.
Just a big old
When you're
whip.
down
Okay.
10K, you're grasping for straws.
Well, I don't even think the straws are on C9's side at this point, because LYON is just in total dominance of this second game. 45 seconds until that next Drake spawns. It will not be Soul, considering we are split even 2-2, but I don't really see a world where Cloud9 wants to take a fight in open neutral territory with a 10,000 gold deficit to try to take a 3rd Hex Drake.
So we do have, I mean, we had the split push up on top side from Blaber here. I wonder what he was getting the last of his money for. Okay, he's got his 3-item power spike. He's got a Guardian Angel for himself. You want to get as powerful as possible for the next setup, but again, there's summoner spells on most people. Saint doesn't have flash, so maybe there's that.
I think for sure you just give this, just keep farming, hope that they make a mistake. The longer the game goes, the more explosive the fights can get. I mean, yes, obviously LYON is massively ahead, but one pick can really change things. And despite the fact that they are far down, once APA has his death gap, that's going to be a big injection of damage. Zven is on 4.5 completed items. He is going to hit hard.
But the Dragon you can give, I'm down, but Baron, that's where we got to send it.
All right, that's where we're drawing the line in the sand?
And it's right here. So
okay.
Guardian Angel completed for Blaber. Well, the death cap's still not completed for APA though.
100 gold is what he needs.
Okay, he's back now.
All right, he recalled, he bought the hat. Now he's coming back towards the fight, but remember, he doesn't have a TP, so he's got to walk all the way up here, but it looks like LYON is not going to immediately just rush the Baron. C9, they know the area is pretty dark. They need to be careful, and Vulcan was not careful enough. Saint with the charm locks up the Nautilus, but they don't quite find the kill. Paranoia used defensively once more as Dhokla looks for the equalizer and slows down C9's retreat. Now APA has to flash away just to barely stay alive, but Zven is already down. Vulcan's gonna follow. C9 only 3 alive, and LYON want the rest of them. Dhokla's dealing with Blaber. That Nocturne is nowhere near strong enough to do anything here. Berserker will snipe him down as APA can't escape the infernal chains, and Inspired drags him straight to hell. C9 lose everybody except for Thanatos, and LYON are barreling down mid lane.
They strike back with a huge gold lead here. 12,000. LYON are going to push us to 1-1 flowers.
Thanatos will try to just make a little space, but that Pathmaker is not making much. The ace goes over to Berserker. LYON bounce back in game number 2. The finals for lock-in are delivering, and we're gonna have our series all tied up 1-1.
And Saint in all chat hits APA with easy. How can you get solo killed in this matchup as the Nexus is exploding? So Saint taking an exception to APA's trash talk a little bit there. It is getting fiery, but you can't deny it. This game was mid-gap.
Also, Saint is typing in all caps here, buddy.
He's fired up.
He also held that in all game long, waiting till the very end.
Saint's fired up. I'm fired up. Lounge, are you fired up?
Hell yeah, Saint is fired up and
yeah.
trash talking back to APA. Is this the secret?
This is the meta.
I mean, also, I think the